Hey, good morning and welcome to Truth Mishnah. Call it Truth Mishnah. I'm switching the name of the main Mishnah Yom Mishir to Truth Mishnah. Uh, the E in, which maybe we'll go E all in Mishnah. Anyway, this is the regular Mishnah Yom Mishir. We're learning Sheviis, Parak Aleph, Mishnayos Gimel and Daled today. Mishnah Gimel says Echad Ilan Srak ve'Echad Ilan Machal Ronas an Kilu Hem Te'enim. We learned yesterday that if you have fruit trees, so then if there are 3 fruit trees within a saw, within a radius of 50 amos by 50 amos, so then it's considered small enough, that area. If these 3 trees produce a lot, each one of these 3 trees is able to produce 60 mana, a weight of 60 mana. A mana is 100 dinarim, 600, and each dinar is 600 mos, a heavy weight of fig cakes. There are so many figs able to produce each one 60 mana, so therefore those 3 trees are important. And the whole Beisa, you could be choresh, you could plow it technically up until Shavuos, right? This is not according to halacha. We're talking about according to Beis Hillel Meishami, Mishnah Aleph, that you only have the year before Shemitah, you only have until Shavuos for a Sedei Elon, Sedei Lavan, right? A wheat bearing field, you only have until Pesach before that. You have to be Mosif Michal, a Kodesh, according to Tanakama. So we're still going according to that, but the Chiddush of this Mishnah, even if it's not a fruit bearing tree, it's a barren tree, it's a leafy tree, a maple tree, I don't know. They don't produce fruits. You still, as long as it's big enough that if it were a fruit tree and a fig fruit tree, it would produce this amount. So therefore, you could still be chorish. You could still plow it up until Shavuos. If it doesn't have 3 bearing trees, then you can only do it litzarkon. You can only do it around those trees. You can only chorish around those trees up until Shavuos. Mishnah Dal. Out of these 3 trees, 1 did, and 2 weren't able to produce that much. Even if 2 of them were able to produce independently, but 1 is not, all 3 of these trees, all you gotta do is choresh around them until Shavuos, but the rest of the area you have to stop doing charisha maybe a year before. Until you have between 3 and 9, each one doing a 60 maneb Isar Italki, they're each one producing a large amount of dates, of figs, so then you could plow the whole field up until Shavuos. If you have 10 trees in a 50-50 radius, so therefore, even if none of them produce, they're not big enough to produce fig cakes that are 60 mana, it wouldn't make a difference. It's considered an important field, and you could be chorish that. You can plow that up until Shavuos, the year in the 6th year before Shemitah. Shnemar, b'charish v'katzer tishbos. Ein sarich lomar charish v'katzer shel Sheviis. It says by Shabbos, it's a pasuk by Shabbos, that you have to abstain from plowing and harvesting on Shabbos. Ein sarich lomar. So it can't be talking about Shabbos. The Gemara says it must be talking about Shemitah, which is similar to Shabbos. This is the opinion of Rabbi Kiva. It can't be talking about plowing during Sheviis and harvesting during Sheviis. That we know it's also to work the land on Sheviis. Must be referring to the Tosefah Sheviis, that you can't even plow the land before Sheviis in the 6th year. Anything that grew mistakenly or by did not Avera and planted during the 7th year, you can't even harvest it during the 8th year. Bishmol Omer, that's Rabbi Kiva's opinion, Tanakama's opinion, which I'm going according to now, there is a problem, there's a Shvius. Like we said before, that up until our fruit-bearing trees, up until Shavuos, is considered for last year's crop, not for next year's crop. It wouldn't be usher. Rabbi Shmuel Omer, Machar Shusav Katzer, Shuz Katzer Omer. He says the whole pasuk is talking about Shabbos. It's not talking about Shemitah. It's talking about Shabbos. It's telling you something about Shabbos, just like the only plowing on Shabbos is usher if it's not a mitzvah, it's optional. Therefore, the only harvesting on Shabbos, which is usher, is one that's optional. But if you're doing a mitzvah of ksiras omer, harvesting in the omer, the barley grain that you want to bring the base of Mikdash in order to matir the chadash, the new grain, that you're allowed to do on Shabbos is a mitzvah. It's docha Shabbos. That's what Rabbi Shmuel learns from this pasuk. So therefore, he's left. There's no makora for Tosefes Sheviis. That's why we said yesterday that Gamliel Beis Dino, you're mavatel this Tosefes Sheviis. He said there is no Tosefes Sheviis nowadays. You plan it up until Rosh Hashanah of Shemitah. Only the Beis Hamikdash, when the Beis Hamikdash is around, is halacha l'shtuna. You can't, but nowadays you could. Stay tuned for all in Mishnah. We're gonna dissect, go a little deeper into the Mishnah. Bye.